Have you ever been so disrespected by someone you cared about that you had to stop mid-sentence, blink 3 times and ask yourself, did she really just say that to me? Maybe she rolled her eyes when you tried to explain something. Maybe she stopped texting back like you were a sales call from a random insurance company. Or maybe, worst of all, she made you feel invisible. And now all you want is to flip the script, to reverse the disrespect, to make her look back one day, bite her lip and say, "Damn, I messed up." If that's what you're looking for, stay right where you are. Because today, we're going to talk about how to make her regret losing you. Not by begging, not by chasing, and definitely not by turning into a part-time motivational quote poster on Instagram, but by becoming something far more dangerous. A man who lives by the principles of Stoicism. And no, Stoicism isn't about pretending nothing hurts. It's about learning how to carry your pain like a king and letting your silence scream louder than any words ever could. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a guy named Marcus. No, not Marcus Aurelius, the famous Stoic philosopher. I'm talking about Marcus from Detroit. Marcus worked a 9-to-5 job, loved his dog, and spent most of his Sundays trying to convince himself that fantasy football was a good idea. Marcus was dating a girl named Chiara. At first, it was all butterflies and Netflix marathons. You know the drill. She used to send him good morning texts, brag about him to her friends, and steal his hoodies with zero guilt. But something changed. One day, Marcus noticed she started replying with K. No punctuation, no emojis, just K. That's when he knew things were going downhill, fast. She started canceling plans, flirting with other guys in front of him, rolling her eyes when he talked, acting like being around him was a chore. And the worst part, Marcus was still trying, still buying flowers, still being understanding, still asking, "Is everything okay?" like a sad therapist. Until one day, he woke up and realized he had become forgettable. Now pause. Have you ever been there? That moment where you feel like a background character in your own relationship, like you're auditioning for love that used to be freely given. Marcus had 2 choices: keep chasing Chiara until he ran out of breath and self-respect, or flip the script. And that's exactly what he did, but not in the way you'd expect. Marcus didn't send a dramatic goodbye text. He didn't write a long post about how real men deserve real women. He didn't even block her. Instead, he got quiet. Not the petty, silent treatment kind of quiet, but the Stoic kind. The kind of silence that says, "I don't need to explain myself to you anymore." He started hitting the gym again, not because he wanted to look good for her, but because he remembered what it felt like to feel strong. He reconnected with his boys, not the guys who'd just nod and say, "That's tough, bro," but the ones who'd actually check him when he was acting soft. He started reading, not tweets, real books, about philosophy, discipline, and self-worth. And slowly, Marcus stopped caring about what Chiara thought. Because here's the secret. The moment you stop trying to prove your worth to someone who treats you like you're disposable, you become powerful. You stop being a toy. You start being a man. Let's break down what Marcus did using Stoicism. There are 4 simple Stoic principles he followed, without even realizing it. And if you live by these, she won't just regret losing you. She'll wonder how she ever thought she could. 1. Control what you can. Ignore what you can't. One of the first things Marcus realized was this. He couldn't control Chiara's attitude. Her mood swings weren't his job to fix. Her disrespect wasn't his fault to carry. So he stopped trying to win her back. That's the first Stoic move. You focus on yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your habits. Stoics call this the dichotomy of control. Translation: you can't make her text back, but you can decide whether or not you waste your energy waiting for her. Funny thing is, when you stop checking your phone every 10 minutes, life starts getting interesting again. 2. Let your silence be louder than your words. Marcus didn't argue. He didn't send a 4-paragraph essay about how he deserves better. He didn't even try to guilt-trip her. He just went quiet. That's Stoicism in action, because real strength isn't loud. It doesn't beg. It doesn't explain. It just is. The moment you stop reacting emotionally to disrespect is the moment you become someone worth regretting, because now you're unpredictable, you're mysterious, you're free. 3. Build a life that makes you proud, not just jealous. Marcus got to work. He stopped watching her stories and started writing his own. He didn't start flexing on social media. He just lived better, trained harder, smiled more. He became that guy, the one who glows up without saying a word. And that's the difference between a boy trying to get her back and a man who knows what he brings to the table. She noticed. They always do. Maybe not on day one, but trust me, when her next situationship starts crumbling, she'll think of you. And when she checks your profile and sees peace instead of pain, that's when the regret begins. 4. Don't try to win her back. Become the man she can't reach anymore. This one stings a little because part of you might still want her to come back. That's normal, you're human. But Stoicism teaches us to let go of attachments that make us weak. The goal isn't to get her back. The goal is to become someone who's outgrown the version of you that tolerated disrespect. Because when you evolve, when you level up mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you don't attract the same people anymore. You stop resonating with drama. You stop chasing breadcrumbs. You start demanding respect without ever raising your voice. And the best part, you won't even need her to regret losing you, because by then, you'll have already moved on to something better. Let me tell you how Marcus's story ends. 3 months later, Kiara hit him up. You already know the message. Hey, just saw your post. Hope you've been doing okay. You know, the classic breadcrumb text. Marcus didn't respond right away. He wasn't trying to play games. He was just busy, living. When he finally replied, he said, "I'm good. Hope you are too." Short, simple, stoic, no bitterness, no begging, just boundaries. And guess what? She tried to come back. She wanted to talk. She said she missed what they had, but Marcus had already let go. Because by then, he wasn't trying to make her regret losing him anymore. He was just glad. He didn't lose himself trying to keep her. So, if you're watching this and wondering how to reverse her disrespect, stop trying to reverse anything. Become so focused on your growth that she has no choice but to see the difference. You want revenge? Become peaceful. You want power? Become silent. You want her regret. Outgrow the version of yourself that tolerated her in the first place. That's how you win, not with words, but with evolution. And when she finally looks back, let her see someone she can't reach anymore. Not because you're trying to hurt her, but because you finally remembered who you are. If that hit home, drop a comment and let me know what part of Marcus's journey you're in right now. Because remember, the comeback is always quieter than the breakdown, but it always hits harder. Stay stoic, stay dangerous,